Welcome back. Today we're diving into a genuinely chilling explainer based on the true story of Surjit's family. We're talking about a bitter family rivalry that escalates, and I mean completely spirals, into absolute supernatural terror. We're going to explore how the darkest corners of human jealousy were allegedly weaponized through black magic. Let's get right into it. The source material actually hooks us right from the start with this stark warning. Beware of your own. It's such a heavy philosophical premise, right? Basically suggesting that our absolute greatest downfalls don't come from some stranger lurking in the shadows, but literally from the very people sharing our own bloodline. Now, to really wrap our heads around what unfolds here, we have to grasp this cultural concept called sharik. It's a Punjabi term that describes how close family members, even blood brothers, can slowly turn into bitter rivals over time. And this perfectly sets the stage for the deep sociocultural tension that's just brewing in this story. Section 1. The root of jealousy. The mother, the son, and the wife. So, our sources tell us Surjit was an incredibly simple man. He was pretty much completely controlled by his fiercely dominant mother. But listen to how fast this household falls apart. Before the wedding, his mom dictated literally everything. But fast forward a bit, Surjit marries this strong-willed woman who actually starts defending him from the other villagers, and wow, the power dynamic just violently shifts. The mother felt like her son was being stolen from her, and that sparked a really bitter daily feud. And tragically, that tension eventually boiled over into a gruesome true crime event. During a heated argument, a domestic dispute crossed the line into just irreversible violence. The mother brutally attacked the young wife with a wooden rolling pin and ultimately strangled her to death. Which brings us to Section 2. The haunting begins, a descent into madness. So with her son fleeing to Hardwar in total devastation, the mother is just left alone in the exact house where she committed the murder. And the explainer details her rapid descent into what locals described as supernatural madness. She started claiming the murdered wife's ghost was stalking her. She'd wander the streets at 2 a.m. in her undergarments, just screaming at unseen entities. She refused to wash her tea thermos for 3 whole years, ate only junk food, constantly smoked bidis, and, horrifyingly, even burned a young relative's hand in hot coals. I mean, she essentially became a walking nightmare. Now, all this public humiliation prompted a drastic, honestly kind of absurd reaction from the extended family. Her brother-in-law, he was a strict army man, felt she was destroying the family's honor. So in a drunken rage, he actually grabs his gun and just fires it into the empty street to try and intimidate her. It was a completely chaotic move that, as you can imagine, only fractured the family even further. Section 3. Weaponizing the supernatural. Enter the tantric. Hoping to somehow cure her madness, neighbors actually brought in a local tantric, a practitioner of the occult. But instead of a cure, a really sinister alliance was formed. Here's how it went down. Step 1, the tantric literally moves into the mother's house. Step 2, using dark practices, he spiritually binds the vengeful ghost, placing it entirely under their control. And step 3, they turn this bound spirit into a weapon to harass and kill their rivals. Notice the terrifying shift in the narrative here, guys. We're moving from a chaotic mental breakdown driven by guilt right over into weaponized black magic aimed squarely at outsiders. And the very first victim was that army brother-in-law. After a highly targeted supernatural assault, he tragically hung himself. It was a death the entire village absolutely attributed to the tantric's curse. They basically used this bound entity to systematically eradicate the next generation of the family. They tormented the deceased army man's son, and driven by just pure jealousy, they specifically targeted pregnant women to stop male heirs from being born. At one point, they violently attacked a surrogate mother, throwing her around a locked bathroom. But underneath all this supernatural terror, think about how this reflects very real, very human greed. They use this massive climate of fear to seize properties and lands from terrified villagers to build immense wealth. Section 4. The Cursed Journey. A target fights back. Well, one specific target actually decided to fight back. This was the son of the deceased army man. Even though his business was collapsing and his wife is suffering major health issues from the curses, he sought out spiritual protection and, against all odds, finally had a son. So, to give thanks for this miracle, he fulfilled a holy vow, a manet, and rented a brand new AC bus to take his family and friends to the Vaishno Devi shrine. But as we'll see, this joyous occasion basically set the stage for one last massive strike from the tantric. The journey immediately turned into this obstacle-ridden nightmare. Just listen to how this timeline unfolds. Right before boarding, the organizer actually sees the ghost wearing white undergarments. Just 2 hours in, an eco-van inexplicably rams right into their bus. Fast forward to hour 4, a minor maneuver causes the heavy iron grille of the bus to detach, smash a showroom window, and nearly decapitate the organizer. Then, the brand new engine and the AC completely fail, and it all culminates around hour 8 with this terrifying vision of a phantom woman literally trying to throw herself under the tires to cause a fatal wreck. 45. There were 45 passengers on this cursed bus. This wasn't just a targeted attack on one man anymore. Innocent lives, including children, were completely caught in the crossfire. Just imagine the immense psychological weight on the organizer, right? Knowing that his family's dark rivalry was actively endangering everyone around him. Section 5. Karma and Protection, the ultimate shield. So while the bus is just entirely breaking down, the organizer realizes he can't rely on physical mechanics anymore. He had to fight a spiritual battle. The source material juxtaposes two immense forces here. On one side, you have Kala Ilm, the black magic and negative karma wielded by the tantric. And on the other, Pathjop, the divine protection and positive karma of the friend. His continuous chanting of his guru mantra served as this ultimate shield. The dark entity could cause all the mechanical chaos in the world, but it couldn't pierce his protected aura to actually claim their lives. Ultimately, upon their return, the friend sought help from advanced spiritual practitioners. The ghost of the murdered wife was directly confronted. And through intense rituals, the spirit was finally bound. This stripped the malicious duo of their supernatural weapon and finally ended their reign of terror over the village once and for all. As we wrap up this incredibly gripping explainer, I want to leave you with a final, pretty provocative thought. Does karma always balance the scales? I mean, we saw innocent lives lost and massive wealth stolen, all because of sheer jealousy. And yeah, while the entity was bound and the friend survived through pure devotion, the deep scars on this family, they're going to remain forever. It's a really dark, fascinating look at the absolute extremes of human nature. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack this one, and keep questioning the stories around you.